G'day guys, look back at this week's racing. So Scone, 2-day carnival there, and Doomben on Saturday. They're the main meetings I'll have a quick look at. Just make some observations. There wasn't too many highlights there. I don't know if there were too many real horses to follow either. But yeah, hopefully got to be excited there with Spicy Martini on Saturday. Life flashed before my eyes there, but yeah, a few horses popped up that we've been looking at and a couple of races worth talking about. So I'll get into it. Scone, firstly, track played really well, I thought, for the 2 days. Certainly, you could make ground from most places with a bit of tempo dependent, but I think hard inside was not ideal. You sort of stalking and getting 5-6 off the inside and then, circling from forward to midfield looked ideal. Yeah, back towards the inside, especially you couldn't build momentum, didn't look great. So, yeah, I think that was the best way to play it, especially the second day, which is the day we're probably going to look most at. I'll have a very quick look at the Friday at the end maybe. But, yeah, so the track was pretty good. Yeah, in the 4 range, about that. Certainly on the better side of it, if anything. So, yeah, perfect surface, which is great. Good for the club. Good to see. Going through the races really quickly. Race 1 I didn't think was too exciting. Oakfield Saturn, they went about a length above standard off a 2 length above sort of lead time to the 600, came home a little bit slow. The winner was dominant, but I didn't think there was much to be learned there. Autumn King was great, really good to us. Very surprising how big a price they put up there, and it sort of looked like it deserved to be closer to that even money $2.50 mark, which it eventually got into. Great ride from Aaron Bullock. Sort of just towed up and found the right lane. They went about 11 lengths above there and finished about 7 lengths above. So fast time, good effort from the first and second horse. Again, I didn't think much to be learnt there. Moonsweeper, Autumn King, that's as good as I think. Both of them could go well set up with big weights. I think they're both capable of probably winning a little bit better races, but there weren't many behind that I thought were worth highlighting, that sort of knocking on the door. Red Rags to Bulls went okay, but yeah, again, nothing too exciting. The 2-year-olds, very steady, I thought. Dominant win by Queen Regent. The end ridden cold, had a fast tempo to suit. Found the goal went well. We'll have a quick look at this race. Especially really happy for Blake Ryan and his connections. So just looking at the start, Queen Regent actually jumps in the middle here and gets taken back. So well done. Ridden quiet.
Lady Catalina was away well. Itagrini found the gold. Queen Regent and Hellenic Bell.
So land sort of midfield there, right behind the speed. In the middle here. So only pink with the yellow or gold checks with the pink in the middle. Found the goal was 900 to 1100. So off a fast tempo, good effort from that horse. Obviously got a nice engine. Lady Catalina is the one in the white cap up the front, and the favourite, which should have been in Brisbane for mine, Moscatel's outside the leader. They're working hard, sort of attacking each other. You never really usually see 2 horses in the same colours attacking each other, but they were here. Lady Catalina holds on really well for third. Found the golds in the white with the green cap, so it's a horse that was 9 to 1100. I think it was a pretty good effort. Sheena was really green in the Godolphin colours, just didn't know what it was all about. I think she's got an engine. Very, very happy to forgive her. Probably, I'd nearly be surprised if we see her again this prep, but even if we don't, sort of next time in, be very forgiving of Kachina. The winner comes through here in the... I got a bit excited here. I'm on Found the Gold at 25 to 1 and the leader at 40 to 1, and then all of a sudden 150 to 1 chance. Queen Regent comes off heels and rounds them up quite easily. So a deserved winner. Is this form strong? Jury's out, but the winner's quite dominant late, considering only gets out late, gets a chance to wind up. So I don't think there was any fluke in the win, but certainly had things, pace assistance, and they didn't break the clock coming home. So be a little bit wary of the race. Very well done to Blake Ryan, his connections, Jay Ford. Yeah, good effort, but yeah, wary of the race overall. Race 4, we'll watch it just because I thought there was a bit too much criticism of the ride from Tom Sherry here. I think anyone who backed Nitro going in should have known that the horse was quirky at best. First up 1300, you don't want to put a foot wrong. So what I'm saying there is a horse somewhere near its maximum distance that has been proven at, you want it to be somewhere near its peak fitness to be able to overcome any issues. So you know, a horse that's a little bit quirky, being first up, it's obviously harder to overcome issues or exert yourself completely and still have something left at the end of the race. So yeah, I thought his effort was good. Like, he runs the fastest last 600 and 200 of the day, and obviously has to do a bit of ducking and weaving. But here he is here, third widest runner. Derby colours always slow out. So he's his own worst enemy. Not much Tom Sherry could do there. Also got shortened up a bit and sort of forced out the back. Speed-wise in the race, there wasn't a lot of tempo here. They sort of went out a length below and then come home about 2 above, which was the fastest, like 600 of the day. And this horse had to make ground from a real good position. The other horse worth looking at is Maybe Mowed here in the black and white check and the yellow cap. And Bella Corazon also runs really well. So they're all at the back here. Nitro last. Bella Corazon on the second from the outside, and Bella Corazon second from the inside, and Maybe Mowed second from the outside. The winner ends up box seating behind the leader. The 2 stablemates sort of leader behind leader. So we can't get to sort of this point. Nitro's already starting to over race, and yeah, the 3 horses that I think ran well first up here, all 3 of them first up. Nitro, Maybe Mowed and Bella Corazon. You can see there's no real tempo up front. But I don't really know. So you get to here, his 2 choices were to try and sort of hope that you get a run up the inside where you got 3 horses in front of you, or go to the outside, try to go to the outside. So I didn't have any issue at all with Tom Sherry's ride here. Just a horse that needs a bit of luck, and you know, what's he supposed to do here? He pushes out as soon as he can. He causes interference, if anything, and the horse wasn't really held up. So yeah, the tempo was against. The horse's pattern's a bit of a nightmare. He was first up 1300. I thought he went really, really well, and I couldn't blame Tom Sherry. Bella Corazon was good, just sort of maybe peaked a little bit late, if anything, and I thought the run of Maybe Mowed was promising first up too with the tempo against. So yeah, I think all of those horses were really good resuming efforts. Obviously, Nitro's the one with the most upside, but yeah, he's his own worst enemy at the moment. And I couldn't blame Tom Sherry there. So, you know, victim of circumstances, yes, but pretty predictable circumstances. 1, that they weren't going to go too hard. And 2, that he was going to be in the second half of the field, and he was first up 1300. So, yeah, wasn't as if he was crazy short. I sort of think around $3 to $4 was fair enough. If he did everything right, he was probably going to win. But he was unlikely to do that, and still had a good chance. So he ran well, just couldn't be critical of Nitro there. The Tavros race 5, really happy to see that horse win for Craig Martin. His connection's great. Honest horse that's been all around the area racing similar races, and deserves to knock off a race like this. The race itself, very steady. They went out sort of 6 lengths below, only came home a length above. So bit of a worrying sign there for the race itself. Yeah, horses like Bestower probably ready out of the back of that for something further. The rest, Enrique was a bit unlucky, but gee, pulling straws or clutching at straws to try and find something to follow out of this race with a lot of confidence. Sounds unusual. Had a complete barrier trial. That was about it. Wanneroo race won't look at. Yeah, that race was very steady. Call Me Gorgeous looks like it's maybe had enough for the preparation, needs a freshen or something. Quite a few failures there. Walzeal was a failure first up. Jarova didn't run to its best. Yeah, Let's Face the Music had no luck. I think the race itself was pretty steady, so I wouldn't want to be finding any horse out of that race with any confidence. The Denise's Joy with Miss Free Love sneaking up the fence. I thought Mercy Me was really good, resuming, sitting outside a fast tempo. They went about 4 lengths above there, came home 3 below, so slightly above average time overall. Actually, we'll look at this race because there are a couple of absolute train wrecks here. I'll actually go back and I feel sorry for the connections of horse called Gorgeous here.
Three-year-old fillies. We're good to go. Racing and Agerwood the favourite.
So watching the race, the horse Gorgeous is in the Private Harry colours, so it's the blue with the white. Nothing really exciting happens there till late, but Gorgeous, very unlucky. And the other horse that was unlucky, or was given a set of tasks, was Sequista from the outside draw first up. Dragged back, but yeah, just dragged right out of the race continually. Acacia got a great run through from the back. So a lot of horses did close from the back here. And Gorgeous was just brutal if you're on it. Mercy Me's outside Agerwood, who is setting the fast tempo. Mercy was only first up. Real improving type. I think it's a horse to follow out of the race if it finds a race where it can control next time. So here's Gorgeous here in the nose roll. Bit of a highly strung horse, blue cap, white. So I'll go back a little bit. Sequista's in the white cap with the cerise, and yeah, they're the two main horses. But let's concentrate on watching Gorgeous here in the blue cap with the nose roll. Again, I couldn't really, you can't really blame Collett. Very highly strung horse. I don't know where he's supposed to go. He just gets into a really awkward spot with horses in front of him falling back, and the other horses sort of, he's on heels. He just never gets out. Just, yeah, it's tough watch. And Sequista's down the outside. Look at this. Oh, he looks like he could hurdle them. Absolute brutality if you're on Gorgeous, that's for sure. And yeah, I'm going to go back and show you the race start before. So that was second up. This was first up. Again, Collett rode it.
$1.40 job, Gorgeous.
Been a tough $1.40 first up.
Light blue colours drawn in.
Again, that doesn't have a lot of early speed, but yeah, it's sort of dragged out and last to the turn here. And as you can see, sort of just a really sleepy ride. The leader gets away, and Gorgeous comes home down the outside. Setter just an impossible task. So, yeah, the horse has had 2 runs back, been really unlucky, and Complete forgives at both starts. Wary of the horse because it does have issues mentally and quirky, and probably needs to be ridden a certain way. So it's a bit like Nitro. It's a step into it cautiously and with warnings that everyone's going to find it off the back of that, and it's a quirky horse. It's going to need luck no matter what. So be careful with Gorgeous, but just wanted to highlight that it was unlucky. It's more unlucky than a horse to follow, whereas I think Mercy Me up on speed is a horse that can find a race where it can dictate and be a lot more dangerous than and a better price probably than Gorgeous. Bev's 9 race, nothing there. I didn't think. They went out about 2 lengths above, come home 3 below. I didn't think there was anything there worth highlighting too much. Golden Strand was very heavily backed, didn't have a lot of luck, but yeah, pretty steady race. Don't think there was any upside there. Jewellery's race similar. I thought Surf and Bird was worth forgiving. Back towards the inside there on a slow tempo race. They went about 5.5 lengths below and came home only a length above. So the race itself, queries over it. And Love and War sat wide. Maybe don't be as forgiving as the market will be wide on that slow tempo. It was a good effort. Probably should have won. But yeah, maybe it will be exaggerated a little bit because of that slow tempo. And Surf and Bird maybe won't be as forgiving as I will be. Just sort of back towards the inside there. Thought it was not suited in a sit sprint race. It's much more of a flowing sort of horse that needs to be, dictating to the race, not the race dictating to it. I think that's why it can improve. And Sun God, yeah, really nice win from Sun God. We'll have a look at it because it's probably a lead-in race that will feed races up in Brisbane over the carnival. The linebacker is the horse probably of most interest here. He's just a bit of a creature, isn't he? He's a bit hard to trust. I thought he had his chance here, even though they go 6 lengths above and come home 4 lengths below. So it's a fast run race. The winner was first up. Linebacker was back off a fresh into first up as well, off a shorter break. Point and shoot, its usual tricks, out the back last and flooded home. He's got an engine, everyone knows it. Really like this horse, Sun God. It was good to me here. It was good to me first up last time. I think he's a really underrated horse, and he got out to sort of north of $20 late. So, yeah, a good result. And a very, very talented horse, underrated horse. So we've got linebacker, 1 out, 2 back. Is he in the perfect position, really, given the tempo, and Sun God is as well. Who else ran well here? I think there were a few horses that ran well here. Know Thyself, I didn't think went too bad first up. Stadium and Stella got going late. Linebacker was good for nothing. No, it went well, but I can't see it winning the Stradbroke off the back of this effort. Gallant Star was okay through the line late for something easier, but his pace assisted from well out the back. I just like that Know Thyself got off the bit quite early. I think it's got plenty of improvement to come. Whereas, Sun God is a horse that seems to sprint well fresh. But yeah, linebacker here, every chance. Sun God cutting through underneath him. Know Thyself back here. Infancy gets a short back inside and Point and Shoot comes widest. My life flashed before my eyes a bit when Point and Shoot came at the horse later. It used to be one of my favourite horses, Point and Shoot. And yeah, since he's just tested the patience too much. But yeah, good. Again, just not hitting the linebacker. I really got an issue with that, even if he peaked there. Know Thyself, you can see, is still coming, running up the backsides and sort of a little bit soft on him late. Just thought that was a really good first up effort that he could build off. Even 3 weeks between runs would be ideal, I think. Don't know where they'll head with him. Probably a tricky horse to place now, but still, I think he's got a race in him. That's Scone. Head to Brisbane. Midnight Dynamite completely sustained speed effort in the first, sort of controlled the speed and then really ripped home off at ran fast time. They were never going to catch it. Really good performance. Come back a better horse. Suited over the carnival. Looks like it might have a better race in it. Maybe backs up this week, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, completely airborne Midnight Dynamite, suited with a bit of the sting out of the track. I've never seen rain like we've had here the last couple of days, so I don't know if Brisbane's copying the same. If it is, it'll be struggling to dry out by the weekend. But yeah, nice sort of wet track type that can get up on speed and typical Bjorn Baker horse, hard to get past. His effort was good. Well backed. Kalua Cloy in race 2 with Zach Purton just fell in from Cranky Harry, who gave it a big scare. Didn't think there was much there. Again, fast time in both those races, so if you found anything in there, they're good races to be positive about. Estremo, it was a sit sprint. I think it's a horse that can build off this win and win again. I thought it was a horse that was nearing peak, and this run should bring it right on to its peak here. A solid win. Vantorix, I think, was a poor race. Yeah, just a 12 out of 10 ride. So it's called the Spirit of Boom, isn't it now? Let's have a look at this race.
Spirit of Boom Classic. Starter Ross Smith with the button. Light flashing.
So yeah, just a typical occurrence where J-Max on the horse. You're probably copping a shorter price because of it, but he earned his money here. So up on speed. They didn't go overly quick. They went about even and came home a few lengths below. So the race itself is not great. Sits outside the leader, just cuddles the horse. Big, strong type. Think he's raw. Think he's got improvement next prep. But I just... one of those ones where you're happy that James McDonald was on. I'm not saying that any other rider wouldn't have got him home potentially, but just sort of cuddled him to the 200-metre mark, nursed him through his gears, and as you can see, they're coming from everywhere across the line, and they're not breaking the clock on the way home. So, yeah, I'd be very concerned about this form going forward into any race of this quality or better. Maybe horse could go back in grade and be dangerous, but any race over the carnival, I'd be concerned about the format of this race holding up. I just don't see it being overly strong. Well done, Grant Vantorix, Group 2 winner, Jenny Graham, and the crew, congratulations. It sort of brought back some memories of yesteryear. She's had some nice horses, and I think this horse is unbeaten 3 for 3. So good luck to them with this horse going forward, but really well placed to get the victory there, and really well ridden. So War Eternals race, nothing exciting there. I think that form was okay. The race they ran fast time, but I think sort of everything to suit their War Eternal wanted the sting out and had the nice run in behind them. Our Coin, I think, doesn't really run a strong mile, was clear second there. The race itself, not overly strong. Cigar Flick from the back was good. Had a good look at Lonrose Queen there. Thought it peaked heavily and can improve significantly off that. Really good effort from Superb. The track was great, I think. It's pretty hard to complain about a track where you had horses like Superb and Rothfire sitting wide, no cover and winning. and you had horses coming up the fence from the back like Cigar Flick, Middle Earth, Kilman on the fence leading, Van Torix outside the leader, Stremo sort of stalking. You had horses from everywhere winning, so very hard to complain about the track there on Saturday. I think ideally you wanted to come down the middle, but yeah, you could definitely make ground towards the inside as well. So Poster Girl was okay first up, thought it peaked hard as well late. So the two Chris Muntz runners there can be improved, I think, going forward. Not really worth watching the races, I didn't think. Middle Earth race, they went hard, really hard there, and it was flattered by the tempo. I thought the run of Alicante was great. Huge, just terrible ride. Don't know really what happened there. I'm assuming there'll be a rider change for Alicante, and it was a well-beaten, 8th or something like that, and could probably turn the tables potentially, but those Mar horses, Middle Earth and Royal Supremacy, are also going to probably improve off the back of that run too. But yeah, Alicante's for me was the horse that could improve out of race 7. We'll look at the Doomben 10,000 just to really, full disclosure, I think this horse going for a very, very good result. Spicy Martini, 40 to 1, 50 to 1. Wish I had the brains to play it more heavily in doubles than I did for the place and the win, but easy to say that now. Just its first up effort was just so good, and horrible setup, 1,000 to 1,200 meters, going to a Group 1. The draw was obviously ideal, and it didn't jump first up, and we got to see it jump far more cleanly on Saturday. So had its chance. I was in a $2 shop with my wife and the kids watching it, sitting on the floor outside, and nearly launched myself through the TV, through the wall there at about the 400 meter mark. I thought the horse was just going to be in the finish, to be honest. Obviously raced really well. No excuses. The horse is airborne. 1,000 to 1,200. It was coming again on the line. Got back past Napoleonic late. Jimmy Star, not really many excuses, I didn't think. Maybe suited better outside of horses, but just was ridiculously short here. And yeah, I'm not sure he's going anywhere near his best. Private Harry ran last. I don't know if there's been a decision there, but I'd be surprised if we see him again. They didn't go overly quick. They ran an even tempo, sort of 2 lengths above, and then came home 2 above. So an even tempo, fast speed. They went fast the whole way. And what else do we said here? Not a lot. SJ went well for the grade. Skybird, what a barrier trial it was. Like, I don't know what was going on there. This Skybird being dragged out to last and ends up sort of back here and then 2 lengths behind the last horse. And yeah, I don't know what the story was with Johnny Allen here, but he had a bit of a mare with Skybird. Yeah, even you can see here, this is Spicy Martini, quite keen up on speed here. So, wow, it was just a really huge opportunity, I thought, to have a crack at a horse that went exceptionally well first up in a race full of horses that probably, not at their peak, past their best. And yeah, I was kind of right, but didn't get paid, but that's part of the game. Still a good result, but
a touch worse than midfield, that
is what it is.
Reserve bank, SJ and Skybird.
Rothfire's back here, 3 and 4 wide, no cover. Doesn't have cover at any stage from what I could see. And gets over the top of them late. So I'm not complaining that the horse didn't have a chance. It is a little bit keen in the run, 1,000 to 1,200. So I think it'll improve again, Spicy Martini. It's just completely and utterly airborne.
Warning, Rothfire right off the track. Jimmy Star, Brown looks as though he's going to ride for luck. Going up near the inside. Then came another Will.
So this is Jimmy Star back towards the inside. Skybird, you can see here, just watch its last 50 metres. It just never takes part.
Reserve bag SJ and Skybird whipped them in. The 10,000 field thunder for home.
So coming here, Jimmy back towards the middle. My chance in last, Spicy Martini cutting back towards the inside. Rothfire coming down the outside with Napoleonic. Beedman following Spicy Martini through.
Zarastro the leader. Spicy Martini towards the inside.
And Skybird back here, still last, checking off heels.
Uncommon James,
still inside of heels here. So that's the 200 metre mark, and you've got Skybird still on the back of these horses, getting off heels. This is where I had a coronary, where it was hard to tell when I'm watching it on my phone in the $2 shop, literally in the $2 shop, trying to work out what the angle is here, thinking, holy shit, Rothfire's the horse chasing me. Surely I'm home.
Spicy Martini close to the inside. Jimmy Star's not in it. Can I believe this?
And just watch Spicy Martini through the line. When that horse came to it, it literally came again and then back past the line. It's in front again. Yeah, I think the horse is going to be dangerous again next time. Skybird down the outside, Skybird. I'm not saying to follow it, just pointing out an unlucky run. Jimmy Star was okay back in behind there. Beebman, every chance. Yeah, struggle to suggest that the winner of the Stradbroke's him, and if it is, maybe it's Spicy Martini. I don't even know if that's where they're heading, but 1,000 to 1,200 metres second up, would it run 1,400? I don't know, but everything suggests that it kind of will. What does its form suggest? I don't know if it's been past 1,200. It's been to 1,400 once and ran last, and that was off the back of a heavy track win over 1,350 off fast speed. So, yeah, you'd suggest that they will go to the Stradbroke, and yeah, the horse will probably run very well there. I don't know what sort of weight it'll get or anything like that, what sort of rating. It had a 97 rating before first up, was into 103. So, yeah, it'll get in, but I don't sort of wait or anything like that, but yeah, for me, it's going as well as anything in that race. Very good Rothfire. The last, here's old mate here. The last is very interesting from a Derby perspective, obviously. Couldn't understand the money for Accidental Bid at all. Horrible setup. Missed the run in the Adelaide Derby, and it's coming off a Pakenham benchmark 65 win, and was sort of a gap between runs, drawn awkwardly, and started $3.30. I couldn't really understand it personally. I thought Providence was the one to beat, but quite an open race. This horse, Kilman, has always been a bit of an X-factor horse. Don't know whether it was sort of sent out as a semi-pacemaker here, but I think, you know, the betting suggested they were quietly thought it had a good chance, and I had an absolute peanut on it personally out of FOMO because I've lost so much money on the horse. The run that was very good, and don't know whether it heads to the Oaks or the Derby, was Solid Gold, just given a complete barrier trial. Who else was here? Beauty Swift run second, Providence third. I definitely thought that Solid Gold was the horse to follow out of the race, and I didn't think the rest of them were too scary for the Derby. Obviously, Accidental Bid can improve fitness-wise. It does need to. I still think Monopolistic's the one after watching this race to follow going towards the Derby, and Solid Gold's probably the most dangerous horse out of the race in the Derby, but if it goes to the Oaks, obviously it's not going to be in the Derby, you wouldn't suggest. So Kilman straight to the front from the outside gate. Accidental Bid rolls forward. Providence had its chance. Solid Gold dragged back, so it's the one, ends up trying to sort of slot in, ends up last. Big, strong looking mare. So back now, here, this is Solid Gold back here. Providence, Accidental Bid outside leader, Kilman in front.
Providence asked to go one step closer, going up but even wider. Near the inside was Defendant, then came Solid Gold with plenty of work ahead of her, then came Certify.
Hard to knock the run of Beauty Swift as well, considering where it sort of is, and not a lot went its way in the run either. So yeah, probably overlooking it a little bit also. Was last of all. But yeah, this is Solid Gold right down the outside.
They've got 300 left to run. Kilman giving a side. Accidental Bid trying to eat into the margin. Beauty Swift getting out, and Providence was running on. It's still Kilman in front on tied legs, but still the leader. Kilman in front. I
don't think these horses are really doing anything. When you put them in isolation compared to a horse like the way Monopolistic finished off in what I thought was a stronger race, I think Monopolistic's got these horses covered. Gee, she's a nice horse. Solid Gold, wow. Well, she's not even balanced up here. Look, still sort of turning her head, not really knowing what to do. When she gets going late here, oh, she stretches out late and looks very dangerous. So, yeah, it's the horse that I could take most seriously. Hopefully she goes to the Oaks, and Monopolistic will be very, very hard to beat in the Derby for mine off the back of this. So, that's a look at a few of the races. Yeah, as I said, nothing too exciting there. Hopefully guys got something out of it. Yeah, these last few weeks with the Country Cup sort of meetings, they're hard to get a lot out of, but we'll try and extract what we can and look at the races coming up in a little bit more detail. Just having a quick look, Scone Cup, yeah, there wasn't anything there really worth looking at. I don't think, no, Cormier was a really, really strong win. I think it's probably the horse to follow them out of the maiden 2-3-year-old. Big, strong. Have a look at him.
1100 metres.
Thought he was great.
Good straight run down to the home turn.
Massara first starter. So this is out him in here in the, I think it's the Jonathan Munn's colours. Sits wide, no cover the whole way. Doesn't get in. So he's 3 wide out here, which wasn't as easy to do the first day compared to the second day. A tiny bit of cover down the outside there.
300 metres left to go. Dr. Hook in front.
Dr. Hook was the favourite. This horse was on debut. Now I just love the way he knuckles down, like easily a horse on debut to be able to sort of keep finding. I love that he responds to the riding of Aaron Bullock, and you know the further they go, the stronger he looks. The way he sort of puts his head down and pins his ears back and charges through the line. Everything you want to see from a debutant there. So I thought, you know, first day out, he was probably the most impressive. Bird Whistle was yeah, big price in a Class 1 against a horse that probably will be hard to beat next time out. Mr. Riz, I think, something like that. That was about it. The Cup was an absolute train wreck for a number of horses. Tarvi Time. Who else was? The Imperialist was unlucky. There were a lot of unlucky horses in the Cup, and it's a sort of merry-go-round feeder, I'd call it. Those horses will keep racing against each other and keep taking turns. So I don't think that was really worth looking at. Cheers, guys. I'll be back next week. Hopefully, I'll be on the old Little Birdie later in the week. We'll talk about this week's upcoming races. Cheers.